Hello, welcome. My name is Jenessee from Chakras Root to Crown. If you are watching this, hopefully it's because you have already watched the May Pick Your Path video and you know whether you are on the red or the blue path. If you have not watched that video, I highly suggest you stop right now and go find that video because you will be very confused as we get into this. So if you're here and you have already watched the red and blue path, you know where you stand. You know what you're manifesting. You know what the mastery for you this month is. So what this check-in is going to do, we're going to align, and I've got information here and I've got information out here. So just bear with me as I look in different places. But what we're going to do is we're going to align your astrological sign because and I laugh at myself for even doing this because I'm not an astrology person, but all of you fit into a bucket of astrology depending on your birthday. And so what I want to do now is get really specific on what you have the potential to be letting go of during this full moon, or what the big full moon is going to be bringing in for you for May 7th, which is just right around the corner. And so we're going to do a specific red path and then blue path, and hopefully this is already edited so you're in the right path. But basically what I want to do is start out by acknowledging that the full moon here will correlate to what we had already talked about in the May video with what your new beginning is, right? So right around the first few weeks of the month, the first week or two of the month, we typically get a full moon. And then this is also when the new energy starts to usher in. It's like a new infusion of energy as we choose to kind of recognize where we've been, what we experienced from last month, and now what we're stepping into. If you're walking your spiritual path, you're really engaged in doing the work on yourself. And so this really just helps you to check in so that as we get this next moon alignment, right, a full moon, which is the greatest potential to kind of see possibly where you might be patterning duality from the past, where there might still be illusion in your path, or what kind of cycles and changes you're bringing in, right? And so this one too, from astrology friends, I know kind of kicks off a whole series of crazy alignments in the stars and the universe. And so it's really important to just get grounded in. And so I'm going to be quiet, not say much more, and we're going to go right into what the 12 astrological signs could be experiencing during this letting go per the path you have already picked. And I'm really hoping to keep these explanations very short. This is just a check-in. Again, you know, blue path is all about the mastery of patience. Red path is all about the mastery of transcendence, manifesting that transcending moment where you actually shift levels this month. And so how do we get you to achieve that mastery? We anchor you into what this new beginning looks like and what you might be patterning or possibly carrying in from last month that won't be serving you, that needs to be let go of here on May 7th during the full moon. And so we're going to get right into that, and you can click forward into the video to find where you are, because again, I don't want to take up too much of your time today. Just want to get you grounded back into the energy of what's flowing through you. If you don't know, on May 7th, the full moon, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to do a live call for all the members. So if you're a member of the Chakras Root to Crown, then please join me live, and there'll be emails going with the links that you can sign up for. We're talking about the inner technology that's been coming out, which is really just this rebranding of who you are that you've moved through from the isolation phase, and kind of what's coming out now and what the guides are saying are coming out, and how that's kind of working through multiple layers of what you could be experiencing. And then if you're not a member, you know, you can always download the free Chakra Deck app. And in there, if you wanted to just do a one-time donation, you can do that on jenessee.com at the bottom of the page, or you can sign up for a free membership on the Chakra Deck app. Find the membership login, sign up for a free membership, and you can do a donation, one-time donation for this month, and then we'll send you access to the live calls, and you can be a part of that and see what's coming in. If all this is resonating with you and you want more information and to do a live kind of one-on-one asking questions and whatnot, then please do that. It's offered to you there, and that supports me. So if you want to, please sign up. Okay, so I love this because you guys had like the shiny new toy on Christmas morning for May. When you picked Red Path, you were like, yeah, I'm in the like coming together, the transcendence, the clairvoyance, the inspiration. It's like no wrong could be had. But I'm looking here and here when I'm reading things. But like the only signs, so I'm going to read everybody's sign to know what's kind of happening for you this May 7th. Only 3 of you, Scorpio and Sagittarius, and who is that? Is that Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius? You are the only ones who didn't flip work for the full moon. So everybody on the red path who's not what did I say, Libra, Scorpio, or Sagittarius, you have manifested some work for the beginning of the month. So you guys are going into some past stuff, some future stuff, lots of removing of blocks, should we say? Okay, which is good for full moon energy, right? You pick the shiny path, you got to do a little bit of work around a full moon. So let me get right into it. I'll list all the times so you don't have to listen. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, 3 to 5 minutes. The blue path took about 55 minutes to do in total. So let's see what happens for you, red path. There's a lot of work, so we'll see how quickly I can get through it. So red path, let me see, what was your path this month? So your mastery, the thing you're learning, and again, when you're human and you're learning, it means you're going to go through things. You have to have experiences to learn. If you're just, sitting in one note for your whole human life, you're not going to learn. You're not going to have different experiences. So being human means you're going to have tons of life experiences. So this month, what is your life experience that you're really tapping into? It's transcendence. This is like an opening of the crown chakra, which is so cool. It's an up leveling. You're manifesting this, which means you're literally changing vibration. You're changing speed. You're aligning to new things. You will literally, out of this change month of May, be seeing the world differently, which is very true, micro and macrocosm. And so that is the mastery of this month. So everything I'm going to read is to keep you in alignment to that mastery. And then what is happening and triggering for you at this May 7th full moon, which triggering means it's starting to vibrationally come in. The full moon sets this off for you. And then you can live it all the way up until the 19th of the month, right? Well, I mean, give or take, but depending on, that's like the integration. The full moon's going to bring it in, and then you're going to have a moment to integrate it until we get into the new moon around the 22nd. So your new beginning for this month is all about clairvoyance, right? Mind connected to intuition equals the greater perspective. This is you really coming online. It's about integrating the feeling body with the human reality, low self, high self, and then gaining awareness and perspective over what is happening in your reality, what this shift is, right? So let's get started because you guys have work. Okay, so Capricorn is where we're going to start, December 22nd to January 19th. And Capricorn, your work, in order for you, this is going to be so easy. Each of you, this is like what it is. The work for you, in order to have this transcending moment, to literally update, upgrade, activate. Again, this month is all about, the guides are talking about this month being this month where our inner technology is being adjusted, and things are opening in our DNA to express in different ways. So in order for you to go through this in a really clean, clear, easy way, and then have these alignments come in to where you can kind of see the bigger picture of what's changing for you in this landscape, you got to deal with shame. You have shadow of the solar plexus chakra, which means there are things about, and solar plexus chakra talks about the human journey. It talks about the low self. It's the identity you've created for yourself here as this human. You have shame. You distrust in who you are. You distrust in certain things along your path. For me, this always showed up. I didn't go to college, but I was paid 6 figures very young for things I should have never been put in charge of. And like, my path was so quick, so crazy. People trusted me when I didn't even trust myself. That is solar plexus chakra shame. When you get kind of, when people outside of you are telling you you're good at things and doing things and doing things, and you get more and more responsibility, yet you never actually believe it within yourself, this is the level we're dealing with. This is an identity crisis. This is like, people are telling me I can do this, but can I do this? Am I worth this? What am I worth? Am I smart enough? Am I strong enough? It's all these I questions. Again, this is going to be playing out for you guys. May 7th is the clairvoyance triggering. You're going to have left and right brain. You guys are going to be having the fight of your lives in between your intuitive senses and your rational body. And for you, what you have to heal, your low self has such I want to use words that are strong here, and you could have any level of variance of this, right? But such distrust in who it is or the things it's been given, or like, it's just this, like, can I really do this? Am I strong enough? Am I smart enough? Am I good enough? Am I worth it? Am I? This is going to be the fight for you. And again, this is your new beginning. Your left brain, your rational brain, is going to be trying to tell you you are not good enough. You are not strong enough. Is this really right for me? And your right brain is picking up on this transcending moment, what you're raising to, the bigger landscape of where you're being pushed into. And your left brain is going to try and tell you you're not good enough for it, that this isn't it, this isn't right, this is too new, this is too big for us, right? And I don't care, you could be the CEO of Amazon and still have shame, right? There are levels that everybody has this come in at where they question if they're worthy of something, if they're good enough to accept this, if they're, wherever it's coming in. It could be career, it could be your personal life, but there, it could be with, am I good enough for the love? I'm so very good at business, but am I good enough to accept this love into my life? Is this really, can I trust this, right? And it's these self-doubting capacities that you have, Capricorn. And so this is really what's being brought to the surface this full moon as you're transitioning into the greater perspective. And again, the goal here is to bring harmony and balance. It's to honor the part of you that is the low self, that's the right brain, that's the, am I good enough? Am I strong enough? The questioning of where you're going. And so we honor that because this is highlighting things in the past that we have swept under the rug, that we haven't dealt with, that we never really gave ourselves the self-love we needed to honor where we were and honor our path and honor everything we've earned and experienced in this life. And so for this full moon, I would really encourage you to maybe write down all those areas in your life where you feel like you're not good enough or not worthy enough. And then, full moon, great time to do like a fire burning ceremony where you just kind of let go and release those things that you don't feel like you're good enough in. And just having the wisdom, the awareness will help you when that part of your brain tries to kick in to take away these things that you're tapping into in a much bigger level. Because we need to honor those things that we have yet to deal with. And so again, the May 7th is going to start this energy, this domino for you. And then all the way up until the 22nd, when you really hit the potential duality of this month, from the 7th to the 22nd, you're really going to be probably tested in areas of your life to see, am I worthy? Am I good enough? Will I accept this, right? Do I trust myself enough? And so just to know that you're really stepping into a time of trust in the self. And so if you find yourself distrusting yourself, look at your life as a perfect tapestry, a puzzle that came together so perfectly to get you exactly where you were. And you needed every single thing to happen exactly like it did to get you right here so that you could accept this next part of it. So that's you, Capricorn, and what you're kind of bringing in, processing for May 7th. Next, we're going to Aquarius. So Aquarius, January 20th to February 18th. Aquarius is all about denial. Okay, so Aquarius, like I want to shake you. So you are in a pattern where when things get too good, do you constantly question? It's like you're here, and I'm telling you, you're changing levels. You're literally raising your consciousness, and in this, you're gonna have this amazing insight as to what this next phase of your life is gonna be, and you're like, but is that really what it's gonna be? Is that really it? You know, it's like you're in such a denial over this, and it's a very mental field denial, right? It's third eye chakra, where it's like you're gonna start tapping into this. You're gonna start seeing the potential, and when I say seeing, I mean daydreaming. You're gonna have really big dreams. And a friend of mine once said, if you can dream it, it's already a part of your reality. You just have to bring it through all the levels and layers of your energetics to get it to manifest here. If you can dream something, it means it was made. It's gift wrapped just for you. Who are you? Aquarius? It's gift wrapped just for you. Stop denying it, because what you do if you deny it here, if you dream, if you dream the winning number, right? The Mega Millions number, you dream it, you wake up and you're like, yeah, but is that really it? And you don't go buy the ticket, right? That's the level at which you're stopping this from coming in at. And so the May 7th energy, the full moon energy, is all about getting you out of your own head, Aquarius. You got to stop, because what you're doing is you're blocking it here, and you're blocking it here because there's been times in the past when you've dreamed something, or you've had ideas, or you've really felt like something was going to work, and then it didn't quite happen as you expected it to. Again, mental stuff is expectation. And so what happened is you have this pattern of distrusting when it comes in here, and it's so big, it's so beautiful, it's so potential, right? It's your potential. And then it's like, yeah, but that's just me dreaming, this isn't really for me. And so you like fling it away at this highest level of infancy and potential to you, right? And so this is really about understanding how the body works energetically. And May 7th really ignites your clairvoyance. It's the left rational brain that wants to deny it because of your past patterns. And it's this right holographic brain that's tapping into your soul level potential. And when these two things marry together perfectly, which is happening for you on May 7th, there is this ability to allow that dream to start to become a reality. So after you dream it, then you start speaking about it and see what feels right, see how other people take what you're saying, see what feels right, what's wrong, and then you start bringing it into how do you feel about it, how do you want to work with it. And so there's levels at which these things come in, and then we can kind of morph it into our version of what we daydreamed. But what they're saying for you, Aquarius, is that as soon as it comes in here, you have this ability to just be in denial that this is even a part of your potential and just like let it go. And so this is what you need to let go of. This is the massive shift for you. Hopefully this is the big change for you this May, is knowing that if you can dream it, if you can see it, if you can whatever, if you can think it, right? What is it? If you build it, they will come. If you can think it, it will happen, right? Good or bad. And so don't be in denial. Your thoughts have power. Your thoughts have a ton of power to manifest in this world, and your heart will have even more power later. But right now we need to get you past this hurdle of the head. And so stop denying it. If you can think it, it's already in your field. So like start playing with it and trust it. And yeah, a lot of what you're going to move into for the duality later will be with the voice. So voice and connection to your passion and how you're feeling about things. So that, you're going to really get a chance this month to fine tune this process and see how it works for you. Okay. So the next we go to is Pisces. Pisces, February 19th to March 20th. Okay, Pisces energy for this full moon. Again, Pisces, you're coming in, you're up leveling, and then you're going to have this clairvoyant moment. And so for you, the energy comes in around your throat chakra. So, Goodness gracious. This is about gossiping energy, and I don't want to say gossip and get you to already tune me out, but it's gossiping energy is a hyper throat chakra where we project too far into the future. It's like, people who don't have anything authentic or truthful to say are going to either speak untruths about other people or speak other people's stories. This is a projection of the throat chakra. When you feel like your life isn't worthy enough, good enough to talk about, you're going to talk about things that don't pertain to you. You're going to create stories. You're going to create gossip, quote unquote, which is a projection of your throat chakra into a future. You're projecting a potential future based off of the inability to stay grounded in this moment and speak a truth that's authentic to you. And so your work, Pisces, is all about when you're experiencing this. Again, your mastery for this month is to have this complete shift, right? You have the ability to totally shift, and you have the ability this May 7th to really align, those things that you're thinking and feeling. And so there is this tendency for you to then to almost get into a vibration of inauthenticity that takes you out of the natural flow of what you're bringing in. And so I want you to just be really hyper aware starting around May 7th and all the way up until the 22nd. Because your duality also comes in with your voice as well. So I think you're going to be tested a lot. Like, can you stay in the truth of you? And this can even be talking about things that you have no context for, things that, other people are talking about that you just want to chime in because that's what the popular thing is that's going around. It's like talking about the conspiracy theories about the coronavirus, and people are talking about this and your friends are talking about this. And so, you don't really have an opinion, but you don't want to be left out. So you're going to talk about this. So what this does is it projects you into a false reality. It creates vibrational resonance in your field that does not mean anything to you. It's keeping you it's vibrationally taking you way out of base with what you're here to create. So what I see happening is the more you talk and speak untruth, the more you get wrapped up into these lies, the more you get wrapped up into the gossip that's happening around you this month, especially coming in right now up into the full moon on the 7th, and even 48 72 hours after that. If you find yourself just like getting caught up in a lot of this gossipy type of stuff, what's going to happen is you're going to miss your opportunity. You're going to be so wrapped up in the vibrational energy that's going to keep you locked out of the higher energetics of where you're going. If you do this, you're going to be really caught up in the patterns. You're going to be caught up in confusion energy because it's other people's stuff. And in essence, that energy is created to keep you locked out of the higher ranges of what your potential is. And so I just want you to know and be really hyper aware of speaking truth. Don't just be in a conversation because others are having it. Speak your truth. Be truthful. Speak only words of truth, because this truth is going to really be what helps to get you to that next shift. And not only you, but I think when you hold truth in amongst all those people you're a part of, it literally helps them feel more clear to speak their truth also. So be a vessel in this as well. Okay, so the next one we're jumping to is Aries. Aries on red path. Sounds appropriate, right? Okay, Aries on red path. Again, like everybody else, you're doing work this month. So to have that transcending moment, to jump, to shift like into literally a new reality. And this is happening around May 7th with the full moon, right? The full moon it's like the dominoes. It sets off the dominoes of a whole wave of energy for you. And the interesting thing for you is this is getting you really anxious. It's like, I feel like you're the person who like, you can feel it. And this is probably you right now. It's like, I don't know, caffeine overload, but not caffeine. Like this is just you on life right now. It's like life is crack for you right now. And you're just like, oh my God, I can feel it. It's really strong. It's intense. but you have no clue. You have no clue. And this is getting you so anxious. It's actually making you fearful of moving forward because you have no clue what you're moving into. And so Aries, it's all about like your need to control, right? And your need to know in order to take that step forward. And so for you, the 7th brings in, for everybody on the red path, the 7th brings in the clairvoyance, the ability to see beyond what you see right now. And so, but it really starts on the 7th, and it's going to be a whole unfolding up until the 22nd when you start getting tested by the new moon energy. And so this whole unfolding for you, what's happening is I think you're being asked to take really small steps forward without knowing what the heck you're stepping onto. I think you're being really asked to trust in where you're being pulled and guided right now without having any information about where you're going or what you're building, and to just lay another step and like fingers crossed, like lay another step. Please don't let me fall. Like I feel like this is your energy right now. And so so it's the anxiousness that you've got to be clued into, because when you're feeling that anxiousness, it means you're preventing yourself from moving forward. You're staying trapped in the fear that you don't know what it is, and so you can't control it. And so that's pulling you backwards, and you do not want to go backwards this month, Aries. You want to stay where you are and then greet each new challenge, right? Which a challenge for you right now is just the unknown of where you're going. You want to just be okay moving into it, even though you have no clue what it's going to offer you, right? So this is baby steps. It's literally, I think every day, if you can take a minor little step forward, even though you don't know where you're going, all the way up until the 22nd, I think you'll be very greatly rewarded, but then you're going to be tested again on the 22nd. So okay, next thing. Thank you, Aries. Okay, Taurus energy, April 20th to May 20th. The Taurus energy is coming in, and again, Taurus and everybody here on the red path, you're trying to kind of create a new reality that you get to step into, a shift in your reality, and then also having this opening. May 7th brings the awareness of what you're shifting into. And so for you, there's been a resistance to the feeling. I'm wondering if you were one of those people who was like, am I blue path? Am I red path this month? And so Taurus, you've really second guessed what you've felt. You've pulled back from the emotions. I think you're probably one of those people who really got triggered very strongly by a lot of the collective emotions that were happening this month and last month. And so there has been this like pullback, not wanting to feel as strongly as you can. But what's interesting is where a lot of your counterparts here on the red path, I feel like are getting a lot of very clairvoyant openings. You're getting the clairsentient opening of where you're moving. And so what you need to let go of is your resistance to feeling, because I think where you're being guided, it's all going to be based off of feeling, and how you move there and how you decide to move on to this path or shift into this next reality. It's going to be through your feeling body. Really clairsentient, really open feeling. Seriously, like somebody who can, oh, this is where it comes in. I was picking this up for you specifically in my car driving back to my house today. Music, like I put on your favorite song, or like try and find a song you'd usually like jam out to. And if you can't like feel it in every inch of your body, if you can't like really get into the movement with it, you're resisting there. You're not running the full flow of energy through all of your levels and layers. I always use music in the car to see if I'm in resistance to what's coming, or if I'm like in the flow, even though I don't know what's coming. And so I'd use this as a tool for you this month, especially around, maybe you have a little dance party on the full moon. No, well, yeah, go for it. But I feel like it's just, it's a lacking of emotion. It's a resistance of feeling completely. And a lot of your opening is going to come through your feeling body. So to make sure that you're really receptive to processing anything, high highs, low lows, being okay with all of it right now, because that's going to be what guides you forward. I think the negative emotions are going to show you where things are coming in that you don't want to be a part of, and I think the good emotions are going to come in to show you exactly where you're headed. So to really just trust in that, and that's where you're going to get a lot of your awareness, but you have to be willing to feel, taking yourself into another level of emotionality so that you can feel and open yourself to feel. Okay, so the next one is Gemini, May 21st to June 20th. Gemini is all about way too concerned over the future. If you listen to Red Path and you were like, yes, I'm shifting consciousness, I'm stepping into a new reality, clairvoyance on fire, my new beginning, I'm like gaining the perspective of where I'm going, what I'm building for this 2020, right? Which is like huge. For you, this is signaling that the full moon energy, the thing you need to let go of is you need to be in control. It's like you are so focused on what you're building, how everybody's going to come out of this coronavirus. You're probably seeking everybody's opinion on everything. You want to know, you need to know, you're controlling, you're like so far into your future, whether it's like collective based or if it's very personally based. You need to know, right? 2020 is all about building this new foundation, this next foundation that's going to support you over the next 30 years. And so for you, it's like as this clairvoyant opening happens May 7th, your whole thing is, okay, as long as it looks like this, I'm totally willing for all of this to come in. I feel the new reality, I'm building the new reality, but it's going to have this, and this in it, or I'm not going there. It's like you have such a vice grip on what this is. You're projecting so much of it that, in essence, the only thing that the universe could do is disappoint you to help you redistribute this energy so that you have enough energy to get you through the year of building. And so what it's doing for you, or where you could see this kind of coming to life in your reality, is it creates a laziness, which what that means is when you're so far out here in the mental field and holding on to a potential, trying to manifest that specific dream board. If you made a dream board, if you did anything that's like lock this in, and I love dream boards, but for you right now, this is not a good thing. If you've got any kind of locked in vision of what this is bringing, what it's doing is it's actually disconnecting you from the present moment, which means all your energy is here and you've got no energy to actually build what needs to be built to get you step by step to that potential. And so the goal here is to build it, and then I always say full moons are like fire ceremony. Burn it and say, okay, this is what I want, divine. This is what I'd like. Burn it to the ground if it's a dream board or whatever list or whatever manifestation list, whatever you've got going. Burn it up, let it go, and now every single day show up and do the work. And if you show up and do the work energetically, if you're aligned to the present moment of the day, you will catch the flow as it shifts, as the currents change, and you'll stay in that perfect energetic flow to get to a version of what you wanted to build. But if you stay too locked on that and way too projecting into that, you will have no energy to actually get there. So this is what you need to recognize for yourself. Who are you? Cancer. You need to recognize this as the full moon hits you May 7th, because the bigger picture comes in, and I feel like you've probably, up into the May 7th date, you've been constructing a really great future for yourself, building the dream board, building the dream, whatever it is. But again, it's if you don't show up and do the work daily or have the energy to do the work daily, that future will never transpire. And so the 7th really starts this for you. This is the domino effect of, okay, you've been given the beautiful image of where you're going. Now let's see if you can set that aside and be present every single day to get that to happen, right? And shift and change and be with it as it all changes. Okay, Cancer, June 21st to July 22nd. Okay, so Cancer, your energy this month for the red path is the teacher energy. And so this is all about relationships and you living authentically within the relationship. And by living authentically and you doing you, you naturally help the people around you shift. And so there's sometimes a concern that when we shift our reality, when we shift or change ourselves so much, when we create this new reality, and have these moments where literally we're changing ourselves. One day we're one way, the next day we're a totally different person with different views, different beliefs, different truths about life. When we do that, sometimes there's a fear that the people who are connected to us aren't of the same vibration, don't see things the same way. And so Cancer, your big moment of awareness here this month is to recognize that as you shift, as long as you are authentically what you say, what you do, what you feel, what you think is all in alignment, as long as you're living authentically, what's going to naturally happen is that's going to raise the vibration of the people around you. Your relationships are going to get affected by just how clearly you are living your path. And so that's going to help to teach the people around you how to also live and step into their path. And so one of the bigger awarenesses here for the Cancer, for the Cancer signs might be either you stepping into a teaching role, you by what you're doing, what you're feeling, what you're understanding come May 7th, maybe speaking more to people, maybe teaching people about this, but also just by living your life authentically, you in essence will teach and mentor those people who are connected to you. And so on May 7th, the full moon, there is a level of awareness where if what you're saying and what you're doing are out of alignment, I think you're going to get a backlash from the relationships in your life. But so that would be the letting go is, where are you out of alignment in what you're saying and what you're doing? And then in a good way, I think also May 7th comes in to give you the greater awareness or perspective of what could be happening if I was totally just living my truth, being my truth, and me authentically in this moment was the truth that was needed. And what happened if that became a bigger part of my reality, right? Becoming this teacher, becoming this mentor. And so what could that look like? And so I think May 7th, if you're not living in accordance with, what you see, what you think, what you hear, what you feel, if all those things aren't in complete alignment, you're going to get some pushback on the full moon. If they are in alignment, I think you're going to see lots more people want to know how you do what you're doing. So it would be a validation either way. But really, again, the goal is to have this transcending moment this May for you. And so this is the areas around the full moon that are going to be getting triggered for you. The dominoes start falling until kind of the 22nd of May when our full moon comes. So that's kind of the energy that's shifting for you with so much light and love. Okay, next person, Leo, July 23rd to August 22nd. So Leo, you come into this and here you go. You are projecting your mind into the future, and you are getting super obsessive over what this should look like. So what this means for Red Path is, again, you're shifting, you're moving, you're building a new reality. You are literally at the end of this year going to be in a totally different reality, a totally different space, right? Your world will look totally different. And what's happening this month for you is you begin shifting here, you begin perceiving it. And on May 7th, the full moon, what comes in is the level of awareness of what you're perceiving. What happens for you, Leo, is you are so obsessive over what that should look like that you are, in essence, your low self is projecting a reality that it wants instead of what's supposed to be happening is you shifting first and then accessing a new reality. You have so much attachment to this low self, this human journey, to what the human needs. Again, go material, go self-serving, go, and again, well, these are all Leo words. I'm a Leo, I can say that. So you know, we have a tendency to be really ego driven, right? And so that's what this shift is for you. That's what you need to know for this full moon energy. You need to stop projecting from what the human thinks it needs and wait for the moment of awakening to happen, to where you just know what you need, right? It's a shift. Instead of a upward projection from the human out to say, this is what I need, support me like this, because then your low self will be supported. What we need you to do, and what's happening for you, is this flip. It's a downward projection into your human vessel, which means the infinite potential of your soul wants to now support your human. But in order for that to happen, you got to let go of some of these low self-serving personality things. So I just say, if there's anything you can do for this full moon, it's really acknowledging that you've been in this upside down, or you know, you've been trying to project the human wants to your soul, and you need to be receptive. You need to be open. You need to clear your mind right now, way more right brain. Anytime you find yourself doing I want, I need, I this, I that, anytime you kind of feel that happening, cancel that thought. You know, I am high self. What will support high self here on earth? You know, it's like being receptive. I don't want you being obsessive. I want you being receptive. Instead of projecting, you need to be receiving. And so that is your flip and script for this full moon. So, you know, if it's a letting go of anything, it's a letting go of your projection right now and being really open to receive the divine kind of integration of what high self is intending to manifest for you this year. And so, and again, May 7th starts this ability to be open to that receptive quality, but you needed to just know that you had to flip your own internal script and dialogue here so that you can be receiving it instead of projecting a false you know, a false reality that you walk into that will then kind of break down and dissolve around you. Okay, Virgo. So Virgo comes in, and Virgo is September 22nd to October 23rd. Virgo is all about the lies. So Virgo's on red path. You've got to deal with the shadow of the throat chakra. So this is really a deep time of reflective work where it's not only the lies that you've been, in essence, kind of repeating, telling to yourself through the self-talk, but it's also you really being hyper aware to everything that feels like lies, deceit outside of you, the lies that people outside of you are saying, and when things don't feel right, when things outside of you that are being spoken about just do not feel right inside, this is a time to heal that, and it's the full moon. So you're getting awareness. Okay, so your reality is shifting, and the interesting thing about when you shift into this reality, you're getting awareness that you've put power into people, either people you highly value, highly respect, society, you know, medical, you've put power, you've given power to entities outside of yourself, that as you make this shift and you do this full moon shift, what's going to be breaking down for you, and the reality switch for you, you're going to see that these things outside of you, where maybe you heard somebody say something once, a recognized, well-recognized, you know, political person or medical person or something, and what they said and were so 100% committed to, they're completely talking out of the other side of their mouth now. And you're going to witness this, and you're going to start to see this. You're going to start to see these power structures outside of you dissolving. And it's also going to bring you back to center, where then you kind of see some of these own inner power structures that you've set up for yourself internally, you know, which are like you know, belief statements, commitment statements, vow statements to yourself. I vow never to, I commit never to, you know, and these things you're going to see have been limiting to you, and how they've limited you and how they limited your life experience. And you're going to see these things dissolve. You're going to see these things dissolve outside of you. So this energy really ushers in a new chance for you to see things differently, which I think is really beautiful in the world that you're kind of stepping into and creating for yourself. Okay, so now we go to Libra, September 22nd to October 23rd. Libra is all about manifesting adaptability. And so this is about the community, in connection to your passion, Libra. So you're manifesting in this new reality, and what you're really going to get clear insight on come the full moon. What you're going to get is an ability to it's almost like selfless service, but I don't want to say that so much. It's like I feel like the reality that you're stepping into is more of like a unity consciousness, where you feel a need to, I really feel like you're one of these healers that are being activated again. You know, the inner technology, the different levels of inner technology that are being activated for everybody right now. A lot of people are actually being called, activated, to do kind of humanitarian work. And it doesn't have to be that black and white, but there's something about you that really shifts. This pandemic, this isolation, everything that you've been put through, I think really shifts you into the not serving of the self, but serving of the greater good of all. And so there's some form of the adaptability of working with community, of your passion coming in to serve the greater community. It's very Christ conscious energy, if that makes sense to you at all. And so this is the awareness, I really believe, around the full moon. There's this letting go of maybe an element of who you were before this pandemic hit. And as the world as North America kind of starts to, the steam engine, the steam starts to percolate and the engine starts moving again and we start moving forward, I really feel like there's a shift, for you to be able to step into a role that is very different than what you would have done if this thing had never happened the way it happened. I feel like there's a call to service, but again, it's not as if you lose any service to self. It's just there's this calling to be of service to the other humans in this world. And I feel like it becomes very strong for you, very evident. I feel like you get a big boost of what this might look like for you, come this May 7th energy. And that's kind of the full moon. Full moon highlights the letting go of the selfishness, but I don't want to call you selfish, but letting go of that where it's a singular worldview and stepping you into a very expansive unity conscious view. So that seems like the reality that you're kind of switching into. I'm just going to go for it. Scorpio, October 24th to November 21st. Scorpio is having a massive awakening here on the red path. Scorpio, you are manifesting a transcending moment, right? Stepping into or creating a new reality. For you, the fact that this this full moon energy brings an awakening, which is your purpose and connection to your passion. Like you are massively getting activated here. And the fact that the new energy that you're shifting into at the full moon time, May 7th, is all about clairvoyance, gaining the perspective here. This is talking about like a massive, like your high self, your divinity is literally giving you feeling senses of activation. Like I almost feel like if any Scorpios out there that know like a whole Kundalini awakening, like I feel like this person is they wouldn't be watching this video. It feels like one day you are almost dormant, and then the next day it's like almost instantaneous enlightenment, awakening, feeling so called to a very specific purpose. It feels like almost overnight you get shifted into a resonance, a feeling state within your body that then makes you feel like you have some big greater purpose in this world, which you do, but it's like this very new sensation for you. It's just a massive instantaneous awakening that happens to Scorpio during this time. Scorpio who's on the red path. And so Scorpio on the red path, it's this like totally shifts your reality. You gain an awareness, a level of like feeling and thinking that makes sense to you, that allows you to process kind of the bigger picture of where you're moving. It's this instantaneous, spontaneous enlightenment, spontaneous Kundalini awakening. It's just a very spontaneous whoop, I'm here, and oh my God, I'm called into service, you know. It's like, and it doesn't have to be like service, like, you know, with service to others, but it would be in this sense. But you know, it's just this really big shift, very big mental shift for you, where it's like one day I'm one way and the next day it's just a complete woo, everything's charged up. And I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I would feel like a Scorpio who might watch this would watch this because a friend sent it to them, or because they randomly stumbled upon it, and this would be the answer you needed to like understand what you're going through. Scorpio this month is in a massive change cycle, and it's almost like you've been resisting or not, and I wouldn't want to say resisting like there was anything consciously you were doing. It was just not the right time, not the right time, not the right time. And then May 7th comes, change month, everything starts going retrograde. And it's just this like, you're on fire. It's like, holy crap, what is happening to me? I'm feeling so intensely. I'm perceiving things in a different way. And I just have to go do this because I'm feeling so called to do this. It's almost like the lights just turn on inside of you, and you are just full steam ahead in a new direction in life that feels very purpose filled, right? And so it doesn't have to be spiritual, but it just feels like you have everything is on fire to do something in a totally different way than you were just a week ago. And so that would be the energy that Scorpio is stepping into over the full moon. And so just to, again, you know, this totally will shift your life kind of upside down, Scorpio. So that's kind of the full moon awakening, is that you were one person yesterday, and then today you're a totally different person after the full moon. That's kind of the energy that's coming in. Okay, so the next one, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is guilt. So let me just check something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's so weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I missed something. Whatever. Okay. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is November 22nd to December 21st. Sagittarius, this is guilt energy. You are having to recognize the connections between yourself and other people that are limiting you, that are keeping you trapped in a lower frequency, a lower perception of reality than you are meant to be heading into. So in the full moon energy hitting you right around May 7th, what's really gonna come up for you in your life is where there are energetic, almost like cords of manipulation between you and other people that are making you question who you are, people that are making you question what you want to do with your life, people who are making you question your life path, your purpose. And so this guilt energy, whoever is trying to make you feel guilty about what you want to do, who you are, these are the people that are trying to hold you back in a reality that's going to keep you out of the potential of what you're moving into. And so Sagittarius, your energy is all about, it's all about recognizing these power dynamics outside of you, recognizing these people as trying to get you to question who you are authentically. When you can recognize the guilt trigger, when you're made to feel guilty about a decision you made or about something you want to do, when you can be made to feel guilty, that means there's energy outside of you that is not in congruence with your high self, with where you're going. And so that guilt energy is made to get you to see who in your life is trying to take your power away, right? And so this is one of those ways that you get to see who's trying to hold you back. And it's not out of maliciousness. Sometimes people just fear other people's change, because it will, in essence, make everybody change. And so it's totally something people do unconsciously, that they'll start doing these kind of energetic manipulation plays to make sure that you're not changing too much too quickly, because that means they have to change a lot quickly or more quickly than they wanted to. And so in order for you to get where you're going, which is this transcendence of this month, you have to be able to see clearly this around this full moon, again from the 7th all the way up until like the 19th of the month. This could be happening multiple ways, multiple times. Who's getting you to feel guilty about the decisions you're making for yourself? And so those are the areas of your life where you're still in power struggles with people. And so to just recognize that and be able to honor where they are, but honor where you're going, and make choices that serve where you're going and what you're aligning to, instead of coddling something that's just really trying to be resistance in slowing you down, actually. So that is the energy of this month, and we start.
The Chakras Root to Crown Oracle deck is a tool designed to help people connect to their soul destiny. As humans, we live a birth to death cycle, yet as a soul, our existence is infinite. In each human life, our goal is to learn and connect to our authentic self. We seek guidance when we are repeating patterns and feel blocked from our purpose. This oracle deck breaks down a human's chakra system and uses that information as a roadmap. Each chakra contains physical, emotional, and spiritual information to navigate a clear path towards authenticity and awakening. By gathering perspective with a reading, you will gain soul-level wisdom. These insights bring depth to your spiritual journey and dissolve the blocks, unveiling your highest potential. Take the next step by selecting your layout and explore a reading today.